He had just won the Champions League. He had just been voted the best player on the planet. And within weeks, Cristiano Ronaldo walked into Sir Alex Ferguson's office at Carrington and told him he wanted to leave. Real Madrid had come calling and he wanted to go. Ferguson didn't shout. He sat him down, looked him in the eye, and said something Ronaldo would never forget. "I know you want to go to Real Madrid, but I'd rather shoot you than sell you to that club right now. If I let you leave this year, my authority is gone. Everybody's authority is gone." Then his voice softened. "But if you perform for this club and someone comes in with a genuine world record bid, I will let you go myself." Neither man left that room knowing what they just agreed to, but that quiet conversation, in an office at a training ground in Manchester, had just lit a fuse. 12 months later, it would explode into the most expensive transfer in the history of football. This is the story of the season in between, the season Cristiano Ronaldo had to prove he deserved to leave. December 2nd, 2008, Paris. Cristiano Ronaldo walked into the theater in a black tuxedo, and in the crowd, watching him, was the woman who had raised him alone through poverty in Madeira, his mother, Dolores. She had cleaned houses to feed her children. She had once considered giving him up because she couldn't afford another mouth to feed. Now she watched her son's name called as the best footballer on the planet. 446 points, 77 first-place votes. The Ballon d'Or, his first of what would become 5. He beat a 21-year-old at Barcelona into second place, 281 points behind him. A kid by the name of Lionel Messi. Third place, Fernando Torres. Ronaldo was the first Portuguese winner since Luis Figo, 8 years earlier. He hugged his mother before he even reached the stage. 23 years old, and by every measure that existed, the best player alive. What nobody in that room could have known was that the young man who finished second, quietly, without a trophy in his hands, was about to become the rival of his life. That Paris night wasn't the beginning of the story. It was the middle of it. Weeks earlier, before the tuxedo, before the trophy, Ronaldo had already gone to Ferguson and told him directly, "I want to go to Real Madrid." Ferguson refused, and he wasn't gentle about it. "I'd rather shoot you than sell you to that club right now," he said again, this time in a Manchester United press conference in front of the cameras for the whole world to hear. "If I let you leave this year, my authority is gone. Everybody's authority is gone." It was a public humiliation dressed up as loyalty, and Ronaldo had to sit with it. But behind closed doors, man to man, Ferguson had also made him a promise. Stay, perform, don't cause trouble, don't agitate for a move in public. And if somebody comes in with a genuine world record bid, I will not stand in your way. Ronaldo swallowed his pride and agreed. He stayed for one more season. Nobody involved, not Ferguson, not Ronaldo, not the Manchester United board, knew yet just how expensive that promise was about to get, or how soon it would be tested. He didn't even start the season on two good legs. Days after Euro 2008 ended, Ronaldo flew to Amsterdam and went under the knife. Surgery on a right ankle he had been quietly playing through for months, hiding the pain from cameras that only ever saw him smiling. He came back into preseason still rebuilding, still limping through recovery on a foot he needed for his living. Season 2008-09, Ronaldo's fifth and final year at Manchester United. In Yokohama, Japan, he set up Wayne Rooney's winning goal as United down to 10 men after Nemanja Vidic's red card, lifted the FIFA Club World Cup. He helped United beat Tottenham to win the League Cup, and in May, a third consecutive Premier League title, a feat United hadn't managed since the 1960s. 26 goals in all competitions, fewer than the 42 the year before, the ankle still limiting him early on, but United were collecting silverware in every competition they entered. There was only one prize left that season, the one that had defined his career, the one that mattered most. May 27, 2009.
Stadio Olimpico, Rome.
The Champions League final. Manchester United against Barcelona. 10 minutes in, Samuel Eto'o scores. United push back. Ronaldo pushes back, chasing every ball like the trophy was still his to take. But Barcelona had built a plan for him that didn't even come from their coach. Midfielder Yaya Touré later revealed the players worked it out themselves, standing on the pitch before kickoff. "If he gets past me, I jump on him," he told Gerard Piqué. Sergio Busquets, "Challenge him in the air. I'll follow him everywhere the ball goes." For 90 minutes, 3 Barcelona players hunted one man. It worked. 20 minutes from the end, Barcelona's number 10 rose above the Manchester United defense and headed home the second goal.
Barcelona 2.
Manchester United 0. It was the only time in their entire careers that Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi would ever face each other in a Champions League final. Messi was named fans' man of the match. Ronaldo stood in a line with his teammates, took his runners-up medal, and barely looked up. Somewhere behind him, Messi was lifting the trophy that could have been his. Neither man knew it yet, but they had just witnessed the birth of the greatest rivalry football had ever seen. Because this Barcelona side wasn't just good. It was historic. A 38-year-old rookie manager named Pep Guardiola had taken over that summer with almost no experience at the top level. A man who, 1 year earlier, had been coaching Barcelona's reserve team in Spain's third division, virtually unknown outside the club. In his very first season in charge of the first team, he won everything put in front of him.
La Liga, de Copa del Rey,
the Champions League, the first treble in the history of Spanish football. And at the heart of it, a 21-year-old Argentine who had finished runner-up to Ronaldo in Paris just months earlier, and who was starting to look less like a talented kid, and more like the only player on the planet capable of matching him, kick for kick, trophy for trophy, for the next decade. While Barcelona were building a dynasty, Real Madrid's boardroom was on fire. January 16, 2009. Club president Ramon Calderón stood in front of the cameras and resigned in disgrace, accused of rigging a member's vote, letting non-members into the assembly hall while turning away roughly 200 genuine club members, just to force through his own budget. His voice was defensive, almost pleading. "I committed errors," he told the room, but never irregularities. It didn't matter. He was gone within the hour. The most decorated club in football history, for the second time in 3 years, had no president, no direction, and a squad that was falling further behind Barcelona with every week that passed. 2 months later, it got worse. March 10, 2009. Anfield. The cop end in full voice. Liverpool tore Real Madrid apart for goals to nil. The 9-time European champions, the most successful club in the competition's entire history, were knocked out of the Champions League in the round of 16. 2 seasons running. Real Madrid's players walked off that pitch in silence, unable to look at their own fans. Barcelona were dominating Spain. Real Madrid weren't just losing matches anymore. They were losing their identity, and the people who ran the club knew something drastic had to change before the humiliation became permanent. June 1, 2009. Florentino Pérez returned as Real Madrid president, the only candidate wealthy enough to post the enormous financial guarantee required to even run for the position. He stood in front of the members who elected him and made one promise. Galacticos. Real Madrid was going to buy its way back to the top of the world game, whatever it cost, whoever it took. Within a week of taking office, he signed Kaká, the reigning World Player of the Year, from AC Milan for almost £60 million. It was instantly a British and Spanish transfer record. It lasted 11 days. June 11, 2009. Manchester United accepted an offer of £80 million for Cristiano Ronaldo. 94 million euros, the most expensive transfer in the history of football, smashing the record Real Madrid themselves had just set with Kaká 11 days earlier. A year before, in a quiet office at Carrington, Sir Alex Ferguson had made a promise nobody outside the club was supposed to hear. Perform. Don't cause trouble. Wait for a genuine world record bid. Ronaldo had done exactly what was asked of him. The surgery, the trophies, the silence in public. Now Ferguson had to keep his word. Real Madrid would go on to spend over 250 million euros that single summer on Ronaldo, on Kaká, on a young striker named Karim Benzema, tearing down and rebuilding an entire football club around one 24-year-old Portuguese forward. The deal was done, but saying goodbye wasn't simple. Ferguson and his assistant Carlos Queiroz had privately known for years they were never going to keep this player forever. A talent this size doesn't stay contained. Still, when the moment actually came, it was hard. Ronaldo would later call Ferguson his footballing father, the man who fought Arsenal for him at 18, who ordered his own teammates to kick him in training until he stopped falling over, who broke him down in a dressing room until he cried and then quietly built him back up. Ferguson said the two of them had a bond that went beyond football, something closer to family than to business. 6 years. One frightened boy who arrived with braces on his teeth and needed a translator to understand his manager's accent. One knighted coach who bet his own reputation on a teenager nobody else believed in. Now it was over. Ronaldo packed 6 years of Old Trafford into boxes, said his goodbyes at Carrington, and flew to Spain. July 6, 2009.
Santiago Bernabéu, Madrid.
80,000 people filled the stadium, not for a match, for an unveiling. It broke the record for the largest crowd ever to witness a player presentation, a record that had stood for 25 years, since Diego Maradona's unveiling at Napoli. Real Madrid legend Alfredo Di Stefano walked out onto the pitch himself and personally handed Cristiano Ronaldo the number 9 shirt, passing down history from one generation to the next. Ronaldo took the microphone, and in broken, carefully rehearsed Spanish, told the crowd, "This is the completion of my boyhood dream, to be a Real Madrid player." Then he grinned, boyishly, and asked 80,000 strangers to count with him. 1, 2, 3.
A la Madrid.
The stadium erupted. Somewhere in that noise was a boy from Madeira who once needed a translator just to understand a football manager. He hadn't kicked a ball for the club yet. It didn't matter. 12 months earlier, he had lifted the Champions League as a Manchester United player, with Sir Alex Ferguson's words still hanging over him. "Perform, and I will let you go." Now he was a Real Madrid Galactico, the most expensive footballer who had ever lived, carrying the weight of a club desperate to reclaim its throne. From a Barcelona side built around the boy who had finished second to him in Paris. Two of the greatest players who ever lived. Two of the biggest clubs on the planet. Both staring down a decade that would come to be defined by one question, asked over and over in every stadium on earth: Messi or Ronaldo? The rivalry that would define the next 10 years of football had already begun. This is Football Untold, where legends live.